Hello, it's Lauren. Welcome to the Rah Rah Podcast. One of the best, one of the oh my gosh, I couldn't even say remix properly. Hey, it's Lauren. Welcome to one of the best podcasts on the internet, the Rah Rah Podcast, tied with the Afterlight Podcast, also my podcast, and the Business in the Front, Party in the Back podcast, also my podcast. On the show today, I'm going to be talking about finding your passion, finding your passion, finding your passion. Stick with me. This episode has been brought to you by my free masterclass. Reduce your work hours by half without playing catch up on the weekend. So basically, I am giving you an opportunity to grab your ticket for a free masterclass. So in 50 minutes, that's 50, you'll be able to stop overextending yourself without being racked with guilt. You will be able to create some space to stay on task. You will start saying no to requests, and I actually teach you how to do this. And you will unlock the secret to reducing your work hours by half without playing catch up on the weekend. It's a free masterclass. It costs you absolutely nothing. All the details are on my website at rahrahconsulting.com. That's RAH consulting.com. Or in the show notes, there's a direct link. Just click on free masterclass and grab your ticket. I can't wait to see you there. Hey, it's Lauren, still in the pantry recording the podcast. So thank you for joining me. I always like to tell you where I'm at, just in case you think, girl, did you get your studio yet? No, not yet. Still in the pantry. Happy to be here. Grateful I have a pantry. Some people don't. My pantry is actually cozy. It's comfy. It's warm. Not tons of air in here, but there's a light in the pantry. So I'm not sitting in the dark, in case you thought that. I did feel like people thought maybe I was sitting in the pantry in the dark. It's not like that. It's light and bright. There's actually a window in my pantry. And I've talked about this way too long. All right, on the show today, we're going to be talking about finding your passion. And this is inspired by one of my wonderful, amazing friends who recently discovered their passion. And it's also inspired by myself. That actually reminded me, have you ever seen the show The Mindy Project? Obviously, I can't hear your response, so I'll just tell you anyway. So there's this episode where Mindy is, she's really sort of full of herself, this character, and she's hilarious. She says some really hilarious stuff. But if you're wanting a comedy show, I'd really check it out. One of the episodes, she goes, it's like that moment where you realize you're your own role model. So that's kind of what I just did there inadvertently. I didn't mean to say that. This episode is inspired by myself. Okay, but it kind of is, because life on the farm is interesting. And I really, chose to live on a farm because it really was part of the person that I wanted to transform into. This person who learns to garden and does all these new things. And I'm finding that I have passion about certain things that I never thought I did before. Okay, so first of all, I find that sometimes we go through life and we continue to do the same sort of things without realizing that there's a whole world, undiscovered world, that is just sitting there waiting for us. So I want to use a friend of mine as an example in this episode. So they basically are a really hardworking business owner. They are passionate about technology. They love to learn new gadgets, and they love their computers and their phones and their things like that, right? Okay, so fast forward to a couple of months ago, they were given an opportunity to try to, kayak in a kayak. I was about to say ride in a kayak in a kayak. So they decided, oh yeah, I'll just give it a go because, they're open-minded spirit. And they decided to start kayaking. Well, guess what? They have now found that kayaking is like their number one passion. So much so that they bought a kayak and they want to get a tattoo of a kayak, and they send me photos of them out on the river on a regular basis. Guess what? Yeah, kayaking. So one of the things that I thought about when when this came up is I thought, I want to do an episode on finding your passion, because one of the things that I think is just so cool is that sometimes we have passions that we don't even know we have because we haven't tried stuff out. When's the last time you went and you tried something new? When is the last time that you went out of your comfort zone and you thought about, oh, I'd like to try that. I'd like to take that course. I'd like to do that thing. For me lately, I've been making aura sprays. I've been making sprays with different products and aromatherapies, things like that. I also started drying flowers to make my own potpourri. And I've got a lot of fruit trees. So I've started, making making the fruit juice. No, I basically extract the juice through a juicer and then making ice cubes. And, I did a whole cook up a little while ago with my mother-in-law, and we made all of these dishes to have in my freezer so that I've got some easy to go to dinners. And I just absolutely love that. I had never spent an entire day in the kitchen cooking a whole bunch of food. I know a lot of people, they talk about, oh yeah, I did all my cooking on a Sunday for the entire week. Well, that's not me. I've never done that, but it's just not a thing that I thought I was passionate about. But then after I did that, I went, whoa, I love this. This is awesome. Have an audiobook on, just do my cooking. It's great. I am now all of a sudden realizing it's a passion for me, that I love to do that. I know I've met some people before, they go, I'm not really passionate about anything. Okay, well, when's the last time you tried something new? When's the last time you took a new class or you put yourself out there? So I'd like to encourage you through this episode to try something new, to get out there and to do something different that maybe you haven't done before, but you've always thought about. Now, sometimes people don't even know where to begin. So I'd like you to think back to your childhood. And I'd like you to, even if you want to just close your eyes for a minute, imagine yourself as a kid in your mind's eye, playing and laughing and having fun. What are you doing? What are you doing? For me, I was outside. I was making cakes and pies and things like that in the snow and dirt. I grew up in the 80s, so it was pre-internet. And taking advantage of that inspiration to see whether or not that is still something that is of interest to you now. So what were you doing? Were you roller skating? Were you doing jump rope, skipping rope? Were you swimming? Were you dancing? Were you taking acting classes? Were you drawing? Any of these things that you did as a kid, again, if you're not really sure where to start with your passion, have a look at that and then decide whether or not, hey, you know what? I'm going to give that a go. You might find that you ignite an entire passion in yourself that you never knew existed. And what you're doing is you're now increasing the value and your life experience by finding that joy. And let me tell you this right now. If you don't give something a go, you'll never know that could have been the secret, the smoking gun. I don't even know if I'm using that expression properly. That could have been the smoking gun for you to live the best life possible by finding your passion. I know one of my friends, their partner, recently discovered that their passion is mountain biking or race biking in races. They take their road biking and racing. That's their passion. That's what they do now. They fly all around. They do competitions. They train every day. They've got people in their community. That's what they're interested in. I have another friend, and they are really interested in astrology. So they've started learning about astrology, got a telescope, started looking at, all the things to do with the stars and the planets and the solar systems and things like that. So again, when's the last time you tried something new? Check it out. I would love to hear what you get up to. Send me a DM over on Instagram, Facebook. Send me a message. Let me know what you get up to. I'd love to know whether or not this inspired you to check something else out, whether or not you found a secret passion that you didn't know you had, and again, what it is, because you can't just tell me, yeah, girl, found my secret passion. Tell me what it is. All right. Thank you again for listening. Your support means everything to me because I'm super passionate about recording these episodes for you, and it's really not worth it unless somebody listens. So thank you for your time. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please do leave us a review where you listen to your podcast and share it with your friends. New episodes every Monday.